Hey there guys, welcome back to this week's video, and today I'm going to be doing something a bit different and focus on giving you CQB tips to hopefully make you a better close-range player. And today I'm using my modified MK22 Commando, which now cycles a bit faster thanks to a high-torque motor, angle of engagement correction, and Swiss cheese piston mod. And that's going to actually be my first tip for you, and that is to ensure your airsoft gun that you're using has a high cycle speed or trigger response. In CQB, fractions of a second can make or break an engagement, and the higher the cycling speed, the better your chances of survival. And my second tip for the day is don't hang out in doorways. I oftentimes see new players hanging out posted on doorways, trying to use them as a means of cover, and moving forward very slowly. This can only hurt you in the end. Because best case scenario, you're getting in a duel that you may or may not win, but more than likely you're getting shot by the guy that's on the other side of that doorway that is already aiming at you. And now we arrive at my third and arguably most important tip: strike where your enemy is weakest. During the beginning of some matches, I usually like to wait for a second to listen to where my teammates are getting in gunfights, and to attempt to push up or strike in the opposite direction, thus weakening the enemy's team's defenses. As a general rule of thumb, you want to be where the least amount of enemies are looking. This is going to add to your survivability on the field and make you that much harder to take down. And tip number 4 is learn to power flank and when to power flank. In this clip here, I take full advantage of my enemies pulling off the kill room here in order to come from behind and take down a well-designed group of enemies. If the opposing team has devoted a large amount of their resources to one side or particular area of the field, this usually means you have a golden opportunity to come from behind and shoot them in the back, and if you're lucky, inflict massive casualties. And tip number 5 is to remember that cover is three-dimensional. Here you'll notice that instead of getting really up close to this doorway like some people like to do, I instead opt to be farther away and thus present less of a target to my enemy. In addition, my brain has to take in less information at once, allowing me to snap low to my target. And finally, enemies tend to be expecting you to be close to that piece of cover, so being posted a little farther back can actually throw off their aim just enough for you to win. I'm not sure if I was shot here, so I was prepped to call it if my enemy thought he shot me. However, it seems to just kind of blow over.
Probably done for. What's that? Depends off, we're probably gonna be done for. Right left. Outside!
Tip number 6 is not to be afraid to pull back if the odds aren't in your favor. Far better to run and attack somewhere else than to be sent back to the respawn room. Tip number 7 is that teammates can prove to be invaluable in passing off information as to what they saw when they just peeked that corner, or they can give you the info necessary to go for a power flank, or perhaps breach a room with you simultaneously spreading the enemy's fire. In addition, learning tactics to utilize them can be the key to winning many matches.
Cut that down.
Friendly coming to revive. Friendly.
Push it immediately. Dick shot. Dick shot. I'm dead right here. Yeah, you might want to pull back. You're not. Yep, in the big room there.
Moving on to tip number 8, and that is to use suppressive fire. Suppressing enemies typically involves you shooting at the enemy's position repeatedly in order for them to be kept from peeking around and trying to take you out. This action should also not be used once and forgotten about. The key to suppressive fire working is utilizing it and then taking immediate advantage of the enemy's lack of awareness due to that suppressive element. Typically this looks like your friendlies advancing whilst you keep the enemy's heads down, or you drilling the wall that the enemy is posted on, only for you to take up a surprise position and shoot the enemy before they can realize where you're at.
All clear?
Tip number 9 is to always be diving through doorways. Pretend that every doorway has a sheet of glass in it, and then once you've tied that doorway, you want to get through that imaginary piece of glass as fast as you possibly can, whilst also being ready to shoot someone on the other side. Because if you break that glass slowly, whilst pieing as carefully as possible, your enemy is going to win most of the time. Your only hope to win is to get out of the way of your enemy's barrel as quickly as possible, and the best way to do that is to dive right on through that doorway.
Take advantage.
And our final tip of the day is to practice speed, technique, and positioning in everything you do. The most important thing at the end of the day when it comes to CQB is having better aim than your opponent, whilst being faster than your opponent, whilst also having better positioning than your opponent. If you engage a fraction of a second faster, but you have poor positioning, human reaction speed dictates that you're still going to get shot and get a trade. Don't try and tell me that you quote-unquote shot first, unless it was very obvious. Most of the time that's a trade, so it's usually better to just walk back to spawn. If you have good positioning, but bad aim and speed, your enemy is going to have ample time to retaliate. If you have good speed, but bad aim and positioning, then your shots don't matter because you didn't hit the guy. You need to incorporate all three in order to be successful. Whoever can master all three will end up the winner. And if you're lucky, maybe even to pull off some epic little kill streaks.
Turn the walk back. Oh, damn, we got me. Totally got me. Totally got me, yeah. How do you feel down there?
I hope today's video was insightful and can help you to become a better CQB Airsoft player. These videos I intend to continue making in the future to hopefully continue to help everyone out in CQB scenarios. And if you enjoyed today's video and want to help my channel out, you can spread this video to your friends, leave a like or comment below, and if you're feeling really generous, you can give us a subscribe. As always, have a great day, and peace.